I start. The other day I was talking about inclusive education. I think at least now by this time you will be aware what is inclusive education. Now Nitish ji, boliye what is inclusive education? Wake up. Good afternoon.
Yeah, ma'am. Inclusive education is वो disabled childs को regular childs के साथ मिला के पढ़ाना.
And no school has the right to deny admission in the school irrespective of the caste, creed and all. We are not supposed to consider all those things. They should be given equal opportunity, because according to the international law, we have education for all, okay, right to education. So this is one of the fundamental rights. So for that purpose, most of the schools, they have developed infrastructure in order to suit the disabled children. So disabled children will also be called as children with disabilities. They can also be called as differently abled children. Okay. So disability may be the deaf and dumb, then handicapped, crippled, then blind. All these things depends upon the severity. Okay. So this is what yesterday I was telling you. So in general, whenever they ask you what is C, this is hardly for 35 marks. The paper would be hardly for 35 marks. So generally you people can guess few questions. Like they say, what is inclusive education? What steps should be taken to promote children with disabilities so that equal opportunity should be given? So these are all general things. So when you happen to see, just have a look at the person who is disabled. So what sort of motivation should be given to that particular child? Okay, what sort of facility should be given to that child? In general, we can write it. But still, from the from the law's point of view, from the policy's point of view, we'll make it. So generally, now in case if it happened to the other day, I was telling one student was that Ilaya, he was completely blind. He was a part of our curriculum. See, there would be no change in the curriculum for differently abled children. Curriculum would be same, activities would be same, the timings would be same, everything would be same. But only the teacher who is teaching the subject should keep in her mind the student's disabilities, so that she has to teach the topic, making use of the different techniques to suit not only the normal children but also the children with disabilities. This is a major thing. This is the role of a teacher. Okay. Now, I think you have understood what is that inclusive education. Now let me tell you. See, the main objective of the inclusive education is to give equal opportunities to all the students. All the students, in the sense, here I am talking only about disabled children. So equal opportunity should be given to these children. Okay. Now, the general classroom teacher should be fully equipped. Teacher should be totally aware to take care of the educational needs of the disabled and non-disabled children. See, what happens is that I have to have the curriculum, materials, instructional techniques, so that the students, it would be easy for the students to adapt, adapt to the techniques which are used by the teacher. Since I am the class teacher, I am the teacher who is handling the inclusive classroom. So I should have the teaching materials, I should have the instruction strategies, and I should provide the learning experiences to the students in such a way that it would be easy not only for the normal students but also would be easy for the disabled children to follow the concept. And let me tell you, when I am talking about the inclusive classroom, I am the teacher. I have only the training. To teach the normal students. But still, as a teacher, what am I supposed to do? I am supposed to look into the disabilities of the children, and I have to focus on the techniques and the strategies in such a way that it would be easy for both the students. Both the students means normal children and children with disabilities to adapt to the strategies and the techniques used by me in the classroom transaction. Followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
As a teacher, it may not be. See, I have taken training only to teach the normal students. Already, as I have already told in the previous class, that it would not be that easy to teach the students with disabled. Mild disability, okay, we can manage. But in case sometimes if there is little bit, it may not be severe. It may not be severe, and it may be the average. Even at that time, what happens? It would be difficult for the students to adapt to the teaching techniques used by the teacher who does not have training in teaching such students. So here what happens, I may not be able to justify those students 100%, but I have to keep in my mind the disabilities of such children, and I have to make use of the teaching materials, I have to make use of the instructional strategies, and I have to provide the learning experiences in such a way that it would be easy not only for the normal students but also for the disabled children to adapt to the strategies which is used by me in the classroom transaction. This is what. See, now sometimes what happens is that we have to go with the additional staff, okay, then specialist or specialized training for the existing staff. So sometimes what happens, in order to give more benefit to such students, even sometimes some few schools will go for the extra staff, few schools will go for the specialist staff who can teach such students in a better way. See, they will not be taught in a separate school. They will not be taught in a separate classrooms. They will be a part and parcel of the normal classroom instructions. But a specialist teacher will be there who has completely idea regarding the disabled children. So she will make use of the strategies and the techniques in her own way to make the students understand the concept in a better way. So just like now, you might have come across, now for normal students, if the students are dull, what the teacher will do? You tell me.
And she will either make them to sit in the first bench. She teaches in such a way that she start introduction from the basic level, so that keeping the mind of the slow learners.
Okay.
Simple words she will use.
Okay, fine. That is also one of the things. And you might have come across, like, we have remedial classes.
Yes.
Okay. Students those who are lagging behind in the subjects are generally, they are made to go for the remedial classes. What will happen in the remedial classes? Will the students read on their own? Then that is the purpose of the remedial class will not be solved. So actually remedial classes are the classes where the teacher, definitely remedial classes are meant for the students who are unable to cope up with the normal teaching which is done by the teacher in the classroom. So remedial classes are meant for those students where some extra, you are supposed to give some extra, making use of the different strategies by the regular teacher. So the teacher in the remedial classes, she cannot make use of the same strategies which has been used by her in the classroom, normal classroom. So here, because she has come to know that these students are not that good at grasping in the same manner as normal students. So what she has to do? So she has to make use of the knowing the strength and the weakness of the students. She has to make use of the different strategies so that the students will cope up in the same way as the normal students. See, normal students in the sense the very good students, and these remedial classes are meant for the average students. Did you understand? See, this is for the normal students. Remedial classes are meant for the normal students where the students will be lagging behind even one or the other concepts. So the teacher, what she has to do? She has to teach those concepts in making use of the different strategies so that these students who are lagging behind in the concepts will cope up with the more than average students. So it will be balanced. So they will not lag behind in the classroom. So this is what generally it is done for the normal classroom instruction. Now when we are talking about the disabled children, how much ever the teacher may take pain to make use of the different strategies and the techniques in her classroom transaction, sometimes it so happens that the teacher may not be able to satisfy or do justice to the students with disabilities. So at that time what happens? The management has to go for the extra staff. The management has to go for this specialist. Okay. So what they'll do? they have to go with different types of infrastructure depending upon the disability of the children. So apart from the classroom instructions to the disabled children, a specialist will teach them in separate classroom, because she knows how to make the students understand in a better way. Let me tell you, the normal teacher cannot teach unless and until she has taken training. She cannot teach 100% to the disabled children. Okay, if there is mild disability, she can manage because they will be just like normal children. But in case if little bit more than mild severe disability is there, then at that time the students may not cope up well. So at that time, what happens? Specialist or a teacher who has taken training in teaching such students will come and teach them, so that what happens, the students will not have the inferiority complex. The students will have the proper motivation, and then they have a feeling that they are also the part of the normal classroom instructions. Any doubts here?
Ma'am, is this special teachers are accompanied by the regular teachers?
Yes, if not on the regular basis, weekly once or twice they do attend the classrooms. And sometimes what happens is that, let me tell you, the special teachers, they do attend the normal classroom, so that the techniques which are used by the teacher, by the normal teacher, okay, will be used by the special teacher who has taken training, and she will make use of her strategies. She will make use of her strategies to teach the same topic to the disabled children. Understood? Now, regular basis, if that is the case in every classroom, you cannot have two teachers if it is inclusive. So, all the concepts will not be clear. So, weekly once or twice, the teachers would take special class for such students, so that if they have any doubt, because then they have better idea regarding the drawbacks where the students are lagging behind, so they brush up the concepts in a better way, so that the students with disabilities will understand the concept in a better way. Okay, this is what. And sometimes now what happens is that now the strength, the teachers, normal teachers are found easily in the sense, you are wherever you go, you could see only the normal teachers who have taken normal training. You are taking normal training, but it is very difficult to find teachers who have training to teach such students. So what happens in case if there is a scarcity of such teachers, generally you might have observed that how we have this what is that, in case we have some like guest lecture once in a year. Okay, you have an idea regarding the guest lecture. In the same manner, to make the concepts clear, to make the students understand in a better way, so guest lecture will be given weekly once to such students by training in teaching. Okay, B.Ed, special B.Ed is special B.Ed training is meant for it is a course where you people are going to learn how to teach such students. Okay, so what happens? Such teachers, they know better than the normal trained teachers. So since there is a scarcity of such teachers, so in order to benefit the disabled children, if not on the regular basis, weekly once a teacher will come and she will take some 2 to 3 hours. So the same concepts which has been taught to the students by the normal teacher will be once again taught to the students by the teacher who has taken training. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Everyone, please, I know it is afternoon. If you want, you can have a cup of tea in your hand and you can listen. However, the video is not on. But only thing is that you have to be attentive. What happened?
Okay, ma'am.
We are listening, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, if you are listening, it's fine. Okay. See, let me tell you. So when we are talking about the inclusive classroom, so there will be no change in the instructional strategies. So there will be no change in the curriculum. There will be no change in the activities. There would be no change in the extracurricular activities. Everything would be same. So special emphasis has to be given to the children with disabilities. Like we should give them good exposure. Like we should have an yoga room, playground. Okay, so which would suit the the children with disabilities. Okay, so here when we say that building an inclusive classroom commonly means implementing practices where all the students see, when I say that when you are in the way of making an inclusive classroom, then it becomes a community, means implementing practices where all the students, regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, linguistic, cognitive or academic level, children with disability or gifted children, street or working children, children from remote population, children belonging to ethnic or cultural minorities or children from other disadvantaged or marginalized group or other condition, first generation learners, girl child children in difficult circumstances, poor children and the non-disabled children have opportunities to be included in the general education classroom participating in standard-based curriculum. So when I say that inclusive classroom is a classroom where students of different background, students coming from different background will be part and parcel of the classroom. So they will be a part and parcel of that completely general educational classroom participating in standard-based curriculum. There will be no change in the curriculum for normal children and disabled children. Curriculum would be same, activities would be same, the teaching strategies would be same, okay, activities would be same, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, everything should be same. Inclusive, building an inclusive classroom means in that classroom you are going to have all types of students. There would be no discrimination based on the caste, creed, intellectual, social, emotional, physical, disabled children, marginalized group children, minorities. So whether they are coming from the whichever culture it may be, if they are coming from the rural area, urban area, remote, whatever may be the thing, especially the girl child, all these things should not be considered, and no school can deny admission to the students if they come from lower economic status. Okay, all these things we are not supposed to pay attention. Every student has a right to be educated. They have right to attain education, and no school can deny admission based on the caste, creed, race, religion, or whatever it may be. If they come from the disabled category, or if they come from the disadvantaged group, or if they come from different culture, if they come from the lower social status, so all these things should not be considered. So inclusive classroom is classroom consisting of different types of students. Okay, this is what. Okay. Now we have one more thing here. IDEA 2004. So what is IDEA? If you want, just make a note of this. This is important. IDEA is nothing but Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act.
Ma'am, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, IDEA 2004. Okay, it was started in the year 2004. The full form of IDEA is Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act. Okay. Now, please, this is very important. Make a note of this. Please listen carefully. So according to IDEA 2004, it supports inclusive practices by requiring that to the maximum extent, children with disabilities, children with disabilities, including children in private or the private institutions or other care facilities, are educated with children with non-disabled, and that special classes, separate schooling or other removal of children with disabilities from the regular education occurs only when the, so what happens, see, now when I come to this IDEA 2004, so here, irrespective of whether it is a private institution or it is a government school or any other institution, so here normal children will be taught along with the children, disabled children. This is what IDEA 2004, the major, the main aspect of IDEA 2004 is that maximum an effort is made to see that children with disabilities are taught along with children with non-disabilities under the same roof, irrespective of their disability. So whether it is a private institution or whether it is a government institution, the students should not be segregated from the group. And what happens is that please pay attention. IDEA 2004, the main aspect of IDEA 2004 is that education should be given to students with should be given to the students. What type of students? Normal students with children with disabilities, whether it is a private institution, whether it is a government institution, any other institution, they have to be taught under the same roof by a normal teacher in a normal stream, in the mainstream. So there would be no segregation. IDEA 2004 was to see that it supports inclusive practices where children with disabilities will be taught along with children with non-disabilities. Children with non-disabilities means what sort of students will it be?
Normal students.
Normal students. Under the same roof, under the mainstream, under the mainstream, irrespective of whether it is a private institution or a government institution or any other institution. So what happens is that special care, special infrastructure will be managed to make the disabled students comfortable in the normal atmosphere along with the normal children. Please pay attention. See, special care will be taken for the students with disabilities by giving them extra support, by providing them all the facilities so that they can be a part and parcel of the normal classroom atmosphere along with the normal children. So what happens? Such students will be taken away or will be segregated from the normal school under one condition. Even if after giving all the facilities and providing all the infrastructure to such students, if the disability of the child is very severe, then only such students will not be a part and parcel of the inclusive practices. No? Not followed?
Followed, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Followed, ma'am.
See, what happens is that inclusive education means disabled children and able children should be taught under one roof. This is what inclusive education is. So here, children with disabilities, you are supposed, children with disabilities means different kinds of children, whatever may be the disability and whatever may be the economic background, social background, and whatever may be the culture, religion, caste, creed, or whatever it may be, they have to be a part and parcel of the classroom transaction. So what happens is that, so generally, why this inclusive education is given to such students, why they should not be taken, why they should not be given taught in a separate school, so that now, in case if we provide some separate school for that inclusive children, so the feeling of segregation, the feeling of that they are not part of the society will be aroused in such students, and that demotivates such children. So in order to encourage such children, so inclusive practice, inclusive education is the initiative taken by the government. So here what happens, unless and until if the education given to the student by the school is not satisfactory because of the severity of the disability, then only the child will be segregated from the school. He will be put in the other school meant for the disabled children. Otherwise, he will be a part and parcel of the normal school. Have you followed? What did I say just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Only if the severity of the disability is more, and if the education which is imparted to such students having severity, what is that disability? Disability is severe. In case if the education imparted to such children is not satisfactory, that is when we give the normal teaching, when we go for the normal regular classroom transaction, severe disability students will not get proper education even after giving extra classes, special classes, and specialists will come, proper infrastructure, everything will be given in the normal classroom. See, now apart from normal classrooms, in school, if it is an inclusive school, special infrastructure will be there, facilities will be given, they will be provided all the things. So they'll give some extra aids to such students, so that they will follow they will be able to follow along with the normal children. Even after doing that, if the child is not up to the mark, if the education imparted to that child is not satisfactory, then some children, they cannot be a part and parcel of the regular school. They have to be shifted to the segregated schools. Have you followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, one doubt here.
Who is that? Shraddha? Tell me, Shraddha.
When we are having inclusive education, we have a non-normal students there, ma'am. So how they differentiate that the non-normal student has reached the severity? Because initially, if he's having severity only, it would not be included in inclusive education, right?
See, what happens is that sometimes, to what extent the child is having the severity, it would be difficult in the beginning to judge.
Okay.
See, so no child will be deprived of taking admission in the school. Every school wants to provide education to the disabled children along with the normal children, and this is what the government wants, so that the disabled children or differently abled children, they should not get a feeling that they are away from the society, they are not like normal children, they are abnormal. So such feeling, in order to take away such feeling among such students, the government has taken the initiative and they have clubbed along with the normal children. So the government is trying its best to provide all the facilities that are required for such children by arranging the yoga room, there was speech therapy, and also giving specialists who has training to teach such students. But even after imparting, even after giving all the facilities, at times you find that the education imparted to few students having more severity, that is disability, if it is severe, then the education imparted to them will not be that satisfactory. So such students will not be taken away, will be put in the other school where more focus will be given to such students by a specially trained teacher. Asthamayinda leda?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Ma'am.
Yeah, Ravini.
Ma'am, you said that the decision will be taken by the government or the management or the parents, ma'am. Like during the shift, if the disability is more severe, who will be the decision makers? Are the parents or the management or the government?
Government will not take part in all these things. See, who is going to see government now? How is Ramani reading? Who will come to know? The teacher and the parents and Ramani.
So it is the mutual understanding of the parents and the management.
See, you cannot expect the severe disabled child to be doing some higher course and all. So why are we providing education to such students so that they become independent? The feeling of dependency should be taken away from them. For that purpose, we are clubbing, we are including them with the normal students. At the end of the day, they should be independent, they should learn something. So in case making even severe disabled children to club with, to sit with the normal children, and if they don't learn anything, who is going to be the loser at the end of the day? The child will be the loser. That's what. So here, even if the child is having severe disability, but even if he is having severe disability, the government wants to see such children having severe disability to be independent in their life, to do something in their life, so that the feeling of dependency among such students, the feeling of disability should be taken away from such students. So a separate school will be arranged for such students, taught by a separate teacher who has taken training. So that what happens in such schools, all the students will be maintain the same standard of education. Concepts would be same, teaching strategies would be same, because the teacher will be specialist to teach such students. And then what happens, the students will not have the feeling, I am high or I am low, I am average, or because everyone will be same. Segregated schools, almost all the IQ level, the learning level and learning styles would be same among all the students. Okay, so for that purpose, that it would be easy for the teacher, and you don't expect that you can't compare the normal students with the children with disability, severe disability. Okay, here in order to give them motivation, in order to encourage them, the government wants to club with the normal children. If there is a mild severity, if there is a mild disability, okay, what happens is that few concepts brushing up by the teacher, okay, once again repeating the concept, the mild disabled children will be just like normal children. Will be, and sometimes you might have observed, most of the now, in case if the children, if they at home, if they do something, if they do some pranks, so what will you say? Are you mad? Okay, so all normal children will not be highly intelligent. Do you accept or not?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All normal children will not be highly intelligent students. And let me tell you, all disabled children will not be below average students. Only they have the disability, but that disability will not hinder them in acquiring the knowledge. So the government wants to motivate such students, and let me tell you, the average, the normal average student sometimes will be less in IQ compared to the mild disabled children. No? Are you able to follow the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
See, what here? Tell me. Disability means, now in case if he has been attacked by polio. Okay. So now in case if I give a statement that a student who is physically fit, okay, a normal student who is physically fit may not have good IQ compared to the child having mild disability. Say yes or no?
No, ma'am. So I don't think so, because they also do well. Because I have I saw one child who has polio. He has attended my class and he get to his first class with good marks compared to other children.
Then you should not say no. You should say yes. What is the statement I have given?
Yes.
Yes, they are good. I am not saying no.
All right.
Yes, they are good.
See, so in order to motivate such students, the government is planning to have inclusive schools where regular and mild disabled children will be under the same room taught by the normal teacher. Even after giving facilities and even after giving all the infrastructure and arranging for the speech therapy, this, that, yoga room, everything. See, there will be no change in the curriculum, there will be no change in the activities, there will be no change in the extracurricular activities, there will be no change in the learning, strategies, learning experiences. So even after that, in case if the child is not up to the mark, a specialist will be there who will be teaching them. But even after giving all the facilities by the specialist and all the things, if the child is not that good at achieving success, then he will not be considered as a mild disabled child. Only if he has severe disabled children, such children will not be made to sit under the same room along in the regular classroom transactions. They will be shifted to the segregated schools, because looking into the performance, at the end of the day, the parent wants the child to learn something. The teacher want the child to learn something. But what happens is that whatever the techniques that has been used by the teacher or the specialist in the normal classroom, if that is not fetching, if the child is unable to follow that, then it's of no use. Just making the child to sit in the classroom along with the normal students, and even that will demotivate the child, because he cannot be a part and parcel of the activities that are conducted by the teacher in the classroom. So he cannot be a part and parcel of the activities where if the other students are taking part, that child with severe disability will not be able to take part in the activities. So there what happens, that demotivates the child. He feels that because of my disability I am not a part of the classroom transaction. Because of my disability no one is talking to me. Because of the disability the teacher is not paying attention to me. So all these things, see, what they write in the book is very easy, but practically it's not that possible. Now in future, if you go to a particular school where in case if you happen to face students with mild disability, you see that you will not pay attention towards that particular child, but you will be more attentive towards the child who is very good at academics. Your more focus would be on that child. Saying is very easy. The government will do all the rules, regulations. Of course, the government is trying its best, but what happens? Generally, the teachers intentionally they don't do it. But what happens? Out of this one, she will run the classroom, but her more focus would be on the normal students rather than the disabled children. So what happens? Normal children with mild disability, at least the teacher can run the show in a proper way. At least she can pay attention. But in case if children with severe disability are in the normal classroom transaction, if they happen to be in the normal classroom transaction, only they will be physically present, but neither the student will be able to learn anything nor the teacher will pay attention, because it would be very difficult for the teacher to teach that student in particular, because her more focus would be on normal children as well as the children with normal disabilities. But here, in case if the severity is more, then the justice will not be done to that particular child. So in such cases, looking into the severity of the disability, such students will not be included in the regular school. They will be shifted to the special schools, where depending upon their disability, separate schools. Like we have schools for blind, schools for deaf and dumb. You have separate schools. So there, what happens? All the students will be of the same category. So teaching would be easy for the concerned teacher. Do you accept it? Did you follow it?
Followed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Followed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the last, point I would like to tell you regarding this inclusive education is, see, education has become a fundamental right. So, which year, wait. Ramani, which year we have Right to Education Act? Which year?
Ma'am, I think 2004.
No.
2009, ma'am.
2004 is idea.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. And when was it started?
2005.
My goodness, no. April 1st, 2010. Right to Education Act. No. Okay.
It's in 2009, ma'am. It started in.
But actually, it started 2009, but it was practically implemented in 2010, April 1st, I suppose. Of course, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 2010 April. Yeah.
So because actually they have started now, like just like in 2020, they have started. So generally what will you say? Is it implemented? No. As of now, it is not implemented. So generally, see, a Right to Education Act, it has come into force in 2009, but actually it got implemented on paper 2010 April 1st. Okay. So forget about it. Just I was having the recap of that. So we have fundamental among many fundamental rights. Right to education, right to education is also one of the fundamental rights, and Right to Education Act 2009 is to be implemented. Then what happens is that millions of learners, especially the first generation learners, are to be enrolled. What do you mean the first generation?
From the family members, the first person who is learning.
No. The pre-primary, primary, nursery, first generation.
Okay.
Okay, generally. So enrollment for such children will be there, and we have to so in order to have a retention of such students, so inclusive education will be there. Okay. It is essential to have inclusive education respecting every individual. So irrespective of whatever may be the thing. So all schools to have enrollment and to have retention of the students. Enrollment is different and retention is different. Okay, and detainment is different. Enrollment, entry, retention to stay back, and detainment to be in the same class. He has been detained. Okay, so what happens is that the first generation students, so in order to enroll them, okay, millions of learners are there. Millions of learners having different background, different they come from different culture, religion, and all these things. So in case in order to have enrollment for the first generation students, so enrollment and retention, inclusive schools should be given chance according to PWD. What is PWD? What is PWD? Public Work Department. It's not Public Work Department. Persons with disability. Here, PWD means persons with disability. Okay. Now I have given you two words over here. Okay, short forms. The first one was IDEA. What is IDEA? Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act. Okay. And the next one what I have given is PWD. PWD is nothing but Persons with Disability Act of 2005. It has started in the year 2005. Provides free and compulsory education up to the age of 18 years for all children with disabilities. Okay. So what happens is that generally what happens according to PWD Act 2005, every child right from the day one, that is the enrollment up to 18 years, he will be given free and compulsory education. And especially this is meant, see, we have Right to Education Act, so free and compulsory education, people coming from the economically background up to 14 years. Okay, then we have the midday meal, books, all free, everything. So in order to improve the literacy rate and in order to give education to all, the government has started this strategy. Okay, SSA, RMS and all these policies have been started. So in the same manner, PWD 2005, it is an act which is meant for disabled children. So that right from the day one, right from the enrollment day till he completes his 18 years, till the child completes his 18 years, irrespective of the disability, the child will be given free and compulsory education up to 18 years. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See what happens now, I see here I am not talking about any caste and creed. Okay. I am not supporting neither the OC, BC, C, whatever it may be, whatever SC, ST, whatever it may be. You might have come across, if you go back some 2 to 3 decades back, at that time, importance of education was completely unknown to most of the people belonging to the lower category group. So lower category group comes under SC, ST, okay, SC, ST, BCD and all those things. I am talking about 3 3 decades, okay, more than 3 decades previously. So 3 decades in the sense, tell me how many years?
30 years.
My goodness, 1 decade is cost how many years?
10,
10.
So 3 decades means
30.
30.
okay. So what happens is that previously the children or the family were not known about the importance of education. So at that time, literacy rate was very less compared to the general category. General category is nothing but the OC people. Okay. So what happened at that time? In order to encourage such children, in order to make them give scope towards education, the government has started all the schemes. And so apart from SC/ST normal children, so in order to bring out the disabled children to schools, the PWD Act 2005 has taken initiative. And what is it? Right from the day one, right from the enrollment and the retainment of the child, the government will give them all the facilities that is required for the child to study up to 18 years. See, infrastructure will be given, facilities will be given, books will be free and everything. Only thing is that the child has to come to the school. All such facilities will be given by the government to such children. I'm talking about children with disabilities. PWD 2005 is nothing but the Persons with Disabilities 2005 Act. According to that, free and compulsory education right from the first generation till 18 years, where everything will be free. Transportation will be free and everything will be free. Do you know that? For generally, even transportation will be free for such children, disabled children. See, so why this has happened? Yeah. What happened?
Yes, in buses also they get free transportation.
Yeah. See, so that the feeling of disability should not be there. Sometimes we feel. Sometimes if a person who is having disability, if he gets a government job, how I wish. Do you think in that manner?
Yes, ma'am. I have seen.
No, do you have such feelings? I mean, where are you? If you happen to say,
I am saying that I have seen a person who got a government job with disability.
That's what I was saying. Okay. See, for that purpose, in order to encourage such students, the government has given certain quota, disabled quota, this quota, that quota, whatever it may be. And even, see, in order to bring the children to school belonging to the lower category. I said lower category means SC/ST. Okay, people belonging to the lower class, lower cadre, economically background. So the government has taken few policies. The government has started certain schemes to encourage such students. And especially you might have observed, the girls were not given permission to go out, and for them education was not that important according to their parents. I'm talking about the 3 decades previously. So the government, in order to improve the literacy rate for such children belonging to the lower cadre and even the girl child, so you might have observed, free education will be given to the girls, okay, and everything will be free, okay. And apart from that, many schemes have been started, special quotas for SC/ST people, okay, and all the facilities, so that the literacy rate, literacy rate will be seen little bit higher. I'm talking about some 3 to 4 decades back, okay, when people were completely unaware of the importance of education. So the such schemes were started by the government. So what happened? So even after doing previously, what happened? Even after taken initiative, the government, it is observed by the government that education, the literacy rate in lower cadre groups is very less compared to the general cadre group. Okay, general cadre. So in order to motivate such lower cadre group, the reservations have come into force. Okay, then apart from the reservation, giving all the facilities, hostel free and everything. Now you could see that there is a good chance, there is a good hope of improvement in the literacy rate among the lower cadre people. Now you cannot make out unless and until you people tell that who is SC, who is SD, who is gender. Everyone is almost all same. Previously it was not like that. SC, ST means they were little bit away from the society. They were secluded from the society. They were little bit marginalized from the society. But now you people, unless and until we see their certificate, we see their caste certificate, no one will come to know that they belong to SC and ST. Do you agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because previously SC, ST means their accent was different, their brought up was different, okay, their presentation was different, and easily by looking at them we can make out these people belong to so and so. But nowadays the facilities given by the government, the exposure they have got from the society is in such a way that even they have come to know how to be in the society. Okay, they have come to know the importance of the education. Okay, and the reservations, facilities given by the government has boosted their confidence, and the literacy rate among the lower cadre has drastically improved. And you don't see the differentiation between the lower cadre and the higher cadre and the girls. Even now you could see that the women are seen in every field. So previously it was not that, previously it was not found. So in order to give importance to girls' education, in order to motivate the children belonging to lower cadre, the government has started many schemes. Now you could see that there is no differentiation between the literacy rate between the general category and the lower category. Both are same. But still, you could see the differentiation in among the children between children with disabilities and normal children. So, in order to boost confidence among them, the PWD 2005 has come into act where free and compulsory education with all facilities will be given to the child. See, what happens is that now, what would you do? What is in relation to education of girls, the enrollment, retention and participation has remained behind those boys. Teachers need to be taught to develop skills in bringing and including girls in the classroom transaction. Gone are the days where the girl was not included in the classroom, where the girls were not given exposure to study in the schools and all. Now every child, even of course, let me tell you, in villages, even now they have a feeling that the education is meant for boys and not for girls. Hardly some 10%, but 90% parents, now they came to know the importance of education because they know actually if education is there, what is achieved, and if education is not there, what they are going to lose. Okay, hardly you could see some 10% variation where still the importance of education is not known to the parents. Hardly I say, okay, 10% parents, okay, overall. But here what happens is that, see, now they have a feeling that girls should be at home, girls should not have good exposure, this, that and that feeling. So that feeling was there somewhere in the past, but now the girls, that is the ladies, they are equal in all aspects with the gents. Okay, so as a teacher, what would you do? As a teacher, if I am taking part in, if I am managing an inclusive classroom, I have an important role in the lives of every student. One of the main responsibilities is to promote a safe and welcoming classroom and school community where individual differences are valued. See, I have somewhere today, how many students I have? 33 students I have. See, what happens is that if I don't give importance to each, and of course now I cannot give importance because who is who, I cannot make it out. But generally when I'm handling a classroom, live classroom I'm handling. See, as a teacher, I should know the individual differences. I should try to accept, I should respect the individual differences of all the students. That is the major role of the teacher. Let me tell you, that is a major role of the teacher, that she has to accept the individual differences among the students, and also she should respect. Every child is unique, every child has got the different learning style. So as a teacher, it is my responsibility to see that as a teacher, it is my responsibility to see that even if the students, if they turn up late, I have to admit them. What do you say, Usha? Usha has just now.
Ma'am, I had some network issue.
Hello.
I had some network issue. I received the link just now.
Okay, fine. I was just giving it. Okay, fine. See,
Okay, ma'am.
it is the role of a teacher that he has to look into the individual differences of the students. Okay, it is the teacher plays a very important role in the life of the students. On the other day, someone said that on the teacher's day that the mother is a teacher and the teacher is second mother. So as a mother, how the mother treats her children in the same manner, in future when you happen to be teachers, most of you at present are teachers, so you should try to accept the individual differences among the students and you should respect the individual differences among the students, because every child is unique, every child has got the different learning style. So you should know, as a teacher you should know, and see where individual differences are valued, embraced and evident. Hence it is important to understand the construct of inclusive education and the progression from segregation towards valuing and appreciating diversity in inclusive education. You see, normal classroom only you have different students having different mentality. The teacher has to manage all the students looking into the individual differences of the students. In the same manner, when it is an inclusive education where normal students along with children with disabilities will be made to sit under one room, okay, under the mainstream, then the teacher has a very major role to play, because she has to give importance, she has to know the drawbacks or the disability among the students. She has to accept them, she has to respect them, and she has to adapt them. See, every individual is different, every individual is unique, every individual has a different learning style. And now what happens as a teacher, if it is an inclusive classroom, as a teacher I have a very major responsibility. What is that responsibility? I have to accept the individual differences of all the students. I should respect. Then what happens? When I respect each and everyone's individual differences, the motivation among the students will be more. I can encourage. Okay, you have to encourage. You play a very vital role. You means who?
Teachers. Teacher, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is about. Now if at all, just imagine. Now I'll give you 2 minutes. Think about. To whomever I ask, you should tell me what is inclusive education. Okay. See, I don't know here. I'm unable to find out the names. I don't know why this fellow has done like this. Pratyusha is present. Here, Pratyusha, tell me what is inclusive education? Pratyusha, are you able to hear Pratyusha? Is she present or not? She is there.
Ma'am, you can ask to other person.
But where is she?
She'll come back, ma'am. Maybe she, urgent work, maybe.
This is what I don't want. Bhargavi?
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me what is inclusive education? Fast. What happened, Bhargavi? I asked you one simple question. What is inclusive education? Tell me.
Definition, ma'am.
Then what do you say? Definition A. What is that? Where are you? I asked to give Simply define what is inclusive education.
Inclusive education is the education, ma'am, with disabled persons.
Is today your first class, Bhargavi?
No, ma'am, second class.
Then yesterday, how many times, I think even during your night times, inclusive, you might have come across the word inclusive. So many times I repeated yesterday.
Inclusive education is nothing but disabled students and non-able students have the same education under same roof.
Okay. What would be your role, Bhagyashree, if you were given the role of a teacher to be a part of the inclusive classroom? What would be your role?
My role is as a special teacher.
No, normal teacher.
For inclusive education. No, normally teacher only, but I can give a special class to this.
What happened?
She said she will be giving special attention to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Special attention. Okay. And apart from that?
Ma'am, a small doubt. If we give separate education, special attention to those people, don't they feel that they are segregated from all?
For that purpose, I said, never give special attention towards them. You should treat them as one. You have to plan your teaching strategies and techniques in such a way that would be easy for them to adapt. ADAPT. Okay. In case if you tell them in a separate way, if you teach them in a different way, so what happens is that while the normal classroom is going on, the students will get an idea.
They don't just teach.
No, not like that. No.
Can we give?
Let me tell you. Now, according to this special attention in the sense, you should pay attention in the sense that they should not get a feeling that I am being paid more attention compared to the normal students. Okay, unknowingly, the students should not be aware that they are paid more attention compared to the normal students because of their disability. So, the teacher has to plan techniques and strategies in such a way that it would be easy for even the disabled children to adapt such techniques used by the teacher in their classroom transaction. So here she has to keep in her mind the disability of the disabled children and she has to plan her strategies. And let me make it very clear, only if the children with mild disabilities are part of the inclusive classroom, it would be easy for the normal class.
Can you give me an example?
See, normal disability at students with handicap in the sense polio. So you don't have to plan any different strategies and all. It would be normal. And even if the child is not that quick, so I don't say that mentally retarded, but in case if they are not good at grasping, some students are very slow learners. Okay, so see, down babies are different from slow learners. You might have observed. Now, did you come across the particular terminology down baby? Anyone?
No,
Down syndrome, ma'am.
Andy, what are the features of Down syndrome baby? By your students?
I think they are overexcited for the small things, ma'am.
Wow, even as soon as you see the particular child, you will come to know the Down baby. They say.
Premature.
Premature, ma'am.
No. See, Down baby. See, what I have observed is that because I have seen personally, so I was not aware. I was not aware what is meant by down baby. I thought down baby in the sense baby will be somewhere down. Okay. What is this? So generally, the down baby is not the terminology which we generally use. So down babies are nothing but the child the child will not be that quick. And you better observe some students, some children, in case if you happen to observe the eyeballs, మీరు ఐబాల్స్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. ఆ ఐబాల్స్ నార్మల్ ఉండవు, దే విల్ బి లిటిల్ బిట్ లో. ఆల్వేస్ దేర్ హెడ్ వుడ్ బి what is that, bending down. Immediately when you happen to see such children, it would be very easy. చాలా slow, something is different. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్ డిఫరెంట్ అనేది ఏంటి? సమ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ యాక్టివ్, సమ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఫేర్, సమ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ లీన్, some children are very what is that, plumpy, some students are what is a short. But when you observe this unique feature in a child, that the child will not give what is a quick response. The child's eyeballs will be little bit low, and always he will be shaking his head and he will bend his head. So generally this is what the maturity level of the child will not be up to the mark. Means if the child, actually what do you expect a child to do the activities at the age of 3 years, he will be doing at the age of 6 years. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Chara slow, dull fellow, we say dull fellow, we say no, all these are nothing but Down syndromes, the slow learners. Slow learners can be a part of the normal classroom instruction. Here the teacher will pay more attention. I cannot completely sit beside the students with the disabled children, and I cannot teach them separately. And if I teach them, so what happens? The disabled children will have a feeling that the teacher is teaching 2 times. One time she is teaching the normal students, and one time she is teaching us. So we are not a part of this classroom. Such feelings should not be aroused among the students. For that purpose, they are being included with the normal students along. And even in case if I am a teacher, if I have got the right choice, I will make one disabled child to sit with a normal child, so that the feeling of unity, the feeling of disability will be taken away from the disabled children. Did you understand? And this is what generally it is done in case of the inclusive schools. All disabled children will not be made to sit in one group. No, they will not be doing like that. So what happens? They'll arrange the classroom in such a way that almost disabled children will be included in with the normal children. So generally in between 2 normal children or disabled children will be there, so that they communicate. The feeling of disability will be taken away from such children, to motivate them, to encourage them. Of course, I know I can say that it is not that easy task, but the government is trying its best, and the teacher plays a very important role. She should keep the disability of the child in her mind while planning the teaching strategies. But when she is asking questions or when she is taking activities in the class, she has to plan her activities in such a way that it would be easy even for the disabled children to be a part of it. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a real
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Understood, ma'am.
You are a real teacher. Then you are a real teacher. Then that would be the thing. Real teacher, a real inclusive teacher is a teacher who plans her strategies, who plans the techniques, and who plans the activities in such a way that even the disabled part in such activities. The disabled children should not get a feeling that no, I can't do this, it's not for me. They have to try, they have to feel that yeah, it is even for us. And she should not pay special attention. Even if she pays special attention, that should not be observed by the students. She has to keep their disability in her mind, and she has to plan her strategies. But she should not take them separate. This is for you, this is not for you. All these things should not be told by the teacher in the classroom. So if such things happen, then again the disability factor among the children the feeling will be more. So in order to take away the feeling, the government is trying to make them sit along with the normal children under the mainstream. Samajh mein aaya inclusive? Otherwise I will go mad, and definitely I will be an inclusive teacher.
Got it, ma'am.
Got it, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
मैं
Yes, ma'am. समझ में आ गया.
तेलुगु में बोल रहा हूँ.
मैं पागल हो जाती हूँ. Yeah, बोलो नीतीश.
Yeah, I got a message from one of the student teacher, like can you tell the summary in Telugu?
Then I have to go to Thakur Hari Prasad.
You can
And no, who is that, Papa? I don't speak that hi-fi English. I am not speaking any hi-fi English. Even the normal teacher can, everyone can understand. I cannot make, to be frank, I cannot translate this, Papa. No, please. Go for collaborative learning. Go for collaborative learning.
Okay, ma'am.
I can't. Here, I repeatedly I have to make use of this word pichi, disabled, kalu, chetul. No. Then by the time I use many times, then I go mad. No, please, whoever it may be, ask her. Now, if that is the case, ask her to contact me so that I can tell her. Okay. Who is that?
Ma'am.
May I know? कौन है उन्होंने?
Ma'am, Sarita, ma'am.
Sarita कौन से? That little bit dark lady.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Spets.
Okay, I don't remember because many Saritas have come across. I don't know which batch and all. Please, if at all she has it all, ask her to give me a call so that I'll explain. I'll give her the gist, but I cannot translate each and everything, Baba. No, especially inclusive. No, no, Baba.
Okay.
I can't think of the.
Okay,
inclusive.
ma'am.
Okay. Now you people go for collaborative. Whoever is good at Telugu, they can translate what is that they say.